Hi guys, welcome to our channel Codes Up. So in this tutorial, we are going to create and React application that will basically convert PDF file to Base64 encoding. So if you do not know what is Base64 encoding, I will paste a link in the description. You can check out. So without wasting more time, let's start the tutorial next. So first we need to create and React application. So we will use the create React app default template that is provided by the React team. So we will type the command npx create React app with the project name. So let's give it a name as a base64. Okay, and press the enter. Okay, let this command to finish. Like it will install all the dependencies related to the React and the basic test. It will create a default template which we will code. It will install all the dependencies like React, React DOM, React scripts, and whatever everything that is needed by a React project. So just wait for this command to finish it, then we will dive into our project. As you can see, the command has finished, so it has installed all the dependencies in your project. So uh, we can go to that project by using cd command, cd base64, whatever the project name you have given. So you can see like this is the, if you do the ls command, it will list all the files under this project. So you can see like there is a readme package source node modules public and yarn.log, because I use the yarn package manager, so that's why it installed all the dependencies using yarn package manager and created a file yarn.log. So now I personally use the Visual Code Studio. You can use whatever code editor you want to use for this project. So to open this project in the Visual Code Studio, you can use the code command, which will open this project. It will open this project in the Visual Code Studio. So node modules contains all the dependency related to the project, whatever the package we installed in future or the React team has installed. So, and this is the source component. This is where we are going to work. Okay, so there is app.js, right? So this app.js is the main file which got rendered on the browser. So basically okay, just a second, I will show you like how it will look. So if we do the yarn start, it will automatically call React scripts start. Okay, so if you go to the package.json, you can see like if you do the yarn npm start or the yarn start, then it will internally call the React scripts, which is installed by our package manager. Okay, so it will by default the React project always host on the local host 3000 if you do not change it. So if you want to prefer it to go on the different port, you can change it in the package.json. Yeah. So you can say this is the logo and this is the some content from the app.js. So if I delete the header component, right, this header component, okay, and again save the project, okay, and you can say this is the empty block, right, because we have removed the header component. So that means if we type anything, like if I add the paragraph with the codes up, that it will be there, right? See this way. So we are going to create our project, create our custom code that we are going to add in the app.js file. Okay, so without wasting more time, let's create our project. So for this project, the requirement is like we need to ask the users like to upload the file, and then we will convert that file to the some base64 format. So for that, we will use the HTML input tag of type file, and let's give it a name to reference it in the future, like give it a name like file to base64 or whatever you like. Then we will so we are going to convert the PDF file, right? So we need to pass the accept parameters. If you do not pass, then it will accept everything, but for now you can do it for every file, but I'm specifically showing it for the PDF file. So let's declare it in the accept section with the application slash PDF. You can do the slash applications slash star or some other files which you want to convert. Okay, so this is the input component. Then what we will need is we need a text area. Okay, so this text area will be used like after we upload the file, then we will show the content of that base64 in this text area. So let's reference it with the some ID, like in case we need something in the future. Yeah, for file, and let's declare some rows. Okay, so before that, let's save the file and go to the browser, like how it look. Okay, yeah, so this is a text area and this is the input component. Okay, yeah, what we can do is input file on the top and this app.js, sorry, this text area in the bottom. So by default the text area is not that large. I think it's 10 by 10 rows by column. So what we will do, we will specify the rows. It accepts the rows property, rows and the column property. So we will let's say we want the 30 rows and we have a column of 150. Okay, yeah, okay, 150, yeah, okay. And so now what we want is like, so we need to specify some value in it, right? So if you select the dummy value, right, some codes of something base64, but we need something dynamic value, right? If you go and say this, you can see the output like base64 whatever you specify the value, right? So we need something like when someone uploads from the file from the choose file, this input component, then that should convert, and then automatically in the background that will paste the whole base64 encoded string in the text area. Okay, so let's do that. So for that, what we need is, for that we need let's remove this logo first. We do not need that. Okay, so for that first we need is on chain handler. So when someone uploads the file, right, we need something to do with that. Okay, so let's say we will okay, so we will create one more function like on. Okay, yeah, so now we need to create this function, right, somewhere. So let's create this function const on upload file change. Okay, yeah, I personally use the arrow function. I like to use the arrow function instead of the regular functions. So what this on upload file change is, it internally pass the event. So if you console.log the event, console.log event, right, so if you do the, okay, yeah, if I select something, some file, okay, invoice, this, like you can see, like it will pass some other properties in the event, like events, but we need to work only with the target property. Okay? So target has our file, target has the string, like which whether it's a PDF or some other files, and what is the base URI and everything related to the files. So we will we will focus on the target. So we will destruct the target property from the event element. Okay, yeah, just remove this console statement. Yeah, so after this we will check whether the target has the files. Okay, target is an object. Okay, so target holds everything inside. So if target.files is less than 1, that means that no file has been uploaded yet. Okay, or there's one more property. If you console out the target again, then you can see like target.validity dot valid, which determines like the whether the the file you have uploaded is still valid or it has been removed from there. So if any of the condition met, then we will simply return like you need to re-upload again. You need to re-upload the file, or you haven't selected any files. Okay. So if this condition doesn't met, then we want to capture the file and then convert it to the base64. So let's create one more function like base file to base64. Okay. So we haven't created it yet. Okay, so which will accept the file basically as a parent, and we will use some callback. Okay, callback. Okay, yeah, why we need a callback? Okay, so let's say like const what is this file to base64 file and callback, because we need a callback because as soon as we read the file, and because I will let you know in the future like why we need a callback or something like that. You can use the other approaches like the promises and all, but I here use the callback. So similar way you can use the promises. Okay, so what we need is like, okay, so we need someone reader kind of thing which will read the file that is passed in our argument. So we'll use the file reader class. So what is this file reader class? So if you hover on this, then it's an interface. Okay, it lets the web application to asynchronously read the contents of the file and store them on the user computer. Okay, so any file, any blob object that is quite large, so it will be used as it will read the file. Okay, so we have created an object from that. Okay, so it will also, so if you go there, right? Okay, yeah, let's open it in a separate file. Okay, so it has various functions like on abort, on error, on load, on progress, read as binary, read as data URL. So you can use whatever, you can use any function to read the file, but right now for this project we will use reader.read as data URL. Okay. So which will read all the buffers from that file and store in the reader. Okay, but this is an asynchronous function, right? So how we will know like it has finished the reading the file? If the file is quite large like 5 MB, 10 MB, then it will take some time to read the file, right? So in that case it also provides us another function like reader.onload, which will be called when our reader object will successfully read the file. Okay, so we will do something after we successfully read the file, and it also provides one more function like on error. So if there is an error occur while reading the file, then we will return the error. Okay, return to the error to the user. Okay, yeah, good. Yeah, so in this case this is an asynchronous function, right? So we need callback or promise to let the function where it's calling as line number 20, right? It needs to be known to this line with that the file has converted successfully. You can fetch the data and you can use the data according to your needs. Okay, so that's why we need to use a callback function here. Okay, so basically every callback has an error and the output, basically the result. Okay, so when the reader loads the full file, when the reader able to successfully load the file, then we will call the callback function that we have passed this file to base64 function. So on successful, we will pass first parameter as a null and second parameter as a result. Okay, why we have passed the null, because why we have passed, so you might have a question like why we have passed the null as a first argument to the call. Like why can't we pass the reader.result as the first argument? So I have already added one post on my website. I will paste the link in the description below. You can check that. So but in case of error, what we need is we will pass the error as a first argument and setting as a null. Okay. So this is a complete function which will first read the file using the file reader interface. Then it will use its properties like onload and onerror to determine whether the file has successfully loaded or not. Okay. After that, we will receive the error. Right? We will receive the result here. So let's say let's handle the result, right? If result, okay, if result is there, it's not null or something like that, then we need something like set the data somewhere, right? So it can be accessed here. So we need something like some data or some, let's name it as a file. Okay. For that we need to store it somewhere. So we will use the useState function that is provided by the React team. Okay. So this is a useState hook, basically useState hook, which is null in the beginning. Okay. So whenever the file changes, it will automatically be referenced to the text area. Okay. So as soon as we get the result, right, we need to set the file. Okay. So let's do the set file and then whatever the result is. This is it. Okay. So let's save it the file. Okay. Okay, so there is a console log error, right? Value top on the net should not be the null. Okay. Okay, let's make it a string. So there's no on chain. Okay, so there's one more error. We provide a value property field without the on chain handle. Okay, so yeah, so we are not changing value, right? On chain, we are not working directly with the on this text area, right? We are not working with this text area. We are not writing manually, right? So what we will do is we will pass the read-only field. Read-only field, which determines like this can be only changed by dynamically. We can't manually change it, or there is no effect of the on-change handler on this. Okay? So we refresh and refresh the browser, then we'll see like there is no console log error. Okay, yeah. So this is the file. Okay, let's create a BR after this to separate them. Okay, it didn't work. Okay, let's wrap it somewhere inside. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so after this, what we will do? Yeah, we will test our whole application. So let's upload the file. There is the invoice monitor, I have odd monitor. So this is the invoice of that. Okay, so you can see, right? This is the Base64 format of that PDF file. Yeah. So similarly, you can change this except, or you did not pass that except, and it will accept every file whatever you want to change. Okay, so this is it for this tutorial. I hope you like the tutorial. I'll paste the link to the GitHub repo. Thanks for watching the tutorial. Have a good day.